also, if you have a
Okay.
YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
I will. I do. I will add it. I don't have a lot of followers yet, but it'll grow. It'll grow. Hi, everyone. It's Caprice, and we're setting up Facebook Live right now with a special guest for Value Added Tuesday. So every other week, we have what we call Getting in the VAT with us at the Heartlink Network. And the VAT stands for Value Added Tuesday. And today we are blessed to have a wonderful member. I mean, you're all wonderful members of the Heartlink, but someone that's become a special friend of mine through the Heartlink Network and her giving spirit. I really connect with her. We connected the first time we met, and she's just got a huge servant's heart and a really great story that led to what she's doing now, which is coaching people on how to find their voice. And I was fortunate enough to be invited on her launch day of her book, Finding Your Voice, and I got to be I guess, a endorser of her book, which is amazing. And I'm so happy to have you here with us today, Renee. So thank you so much for gifting us with your time and your talents.
Oh, Caprice, thank you for that beautiful introduction. And
Before
thank
you go on, I forgot to say, I'm getting used to this,
you.
people. I always forget to do record. So let me start a little bit over here. So I'm going to record. Hold on. Hi, everyone. It's Caprice Crebar with the Heartlink Network, and I am so happy that you are joining us in the VAT today. VAT stands for Value Added Tuesday, and every other week we come into this community and we offer the talents and treasures and gifts of members within our community and friends of our community who have so much to offer us. And I really feel like we're so blessed in this community to have so many wise and experienced people that all fill just different areas of need in human life and experience. And we have somebody here today, Renee Reisch, who is someone that we just really connected when she showed up on the Heartlink Network doorstep, and she came in and we just really connected from the heart, which is what we do in this group. But she's such a giver. She definitely has a go-giver's mentality and just a huge heart for serving others, and a really great story backed by experience that led her to do the kind of coaching she does today by helping give other people a voice. So I'm excited to have you here, Renee. And what we're going to do today is you're going to be sharing a lot of your insights, gifting us. We've had a lot of really great guests on this show. I guess it's kind of like a show now. and and we pre-promote the show, we post-promote it. I mean, there's hundreds of people that watch these, and I also am putting them on YouTube now. And we always give away prizes. So Renee will have a great prize to offer to all of you. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of, asking a few questions, but I'm also going to be following the Facebook chat. So this is being streamed on Facebook Live. And if you have any questions for Renee during it, post it in the chat. We always love to have you comment things that you learned from our guest. And anybody who does comment something you learned either during the live stream or anytime through this Thursday night at Pacific Standard Time, midnight, I will count all those and you'll be entered into the drawing for Renee's prize. So before I take up all her time here, Renee, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Caprice, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for helping me launch my book. That my book went to #1 on Amazon. Caprice, you were the first guest to yes the day of the launch. So it was really a really special time, and Caprice brought it all home for us when we launched on February 3rd. And I appreciate her very much for that and so much more. So thank you. And again, for having me as your guest on this show. I'm truly grateful.
Well, I'm grateful to have you. So tell us, actually, before I ask you my first question, I'm going to go ahead and look up, bear with me here just for a second while I look up your bio. Hold on one second. Because you do have a really wonderful and interesting past that, you know, and you've had some tough experiences in your life that you know, have, you know, we grow and, you know, grow through pain, right? And I know that you've had some losses. And but before you go into telling that story, I just want to read a little bit about your history. So Renee Reisch has cultivated and inspired individuals and teams for over a decade, and you will immediately feel her energy whenever she enters a room. I know I did, for sure. And that energy, you can't get around Renee and not just feel uplifted. I mean, she just has that natural ability to make you feel good. And after 25 years of working for a Fortune 500 company, Renee decided it was time to hang up the corporate ladder and put on her running shoes. She was born in New York, raised in New Jersey. She knew her East Coast grit would resonate with audience seeking to improve their lives and their careers. And she started her professional training and speaking as an instructor at Women Helping Women, a nonprofit organization where she donated her time helping the unemployed and the underemployed find and keep their jobs. Renee's received numerous awards over the years for bringing her teams to the #1 position. Both her years and her expertise in retail have taught her that in order to move the bar and increase profit, you must first invest in people. And I come from that place too, Renee. It is so important to invest in people. And as a transformational coach and influencer, Renee loves connecting with female entrepreneurs and business owners who seek to gain more confidence in their lives and their careers so they can become the leaders they're meant to be. After suffering a devastating illness that took away her voice, and then a few years later, the loss of her best friend and then her father, Renee decided to follow their example to never give up. And now that legacy is how Renee has chosen to live her life and help others, showing them that just when they feel life is closing in on them, there's always a way out. Now, that's a beautiful introduction, Renee. So my first question for you is, tell us about that story. You know, how did you lose your voice?
So first of all, thank you very much for that, Caprice. It was in 2013 while I was in corporate America climbing that ladder. And anybody who's been to any retail establishment during the Christmas holiday knows all too well, it's really a busy time of year. And so it was while I was there and I was a manager running around. It was just, I was the closing manager that night. And I remember feel like there was a sore in my throat. And I went to urgent care the next morning saying, what's going on? And she said, there is a sore in your throat. And I felt it. You know, people say they have a sore throat. Mine actually felt like a sore in my throat. And she confirmed that. And she did this rapid strep test. And I didn't have strep, but she sent me home. And the next morning I woke up, it was like, I write in the book, it felt like it gave birth overnight and expanded and just had all these other sores. Well, my best friend, who's one of my angels with my dad right now in heaven, she drove me back to urgent care and it did in fact give birth in my throat overnight. And when I asked her how many sores there were, she never told me, but she did tell my best friend, you need to get her to the ER now. And that was, that kind of told me all I needed to hear and how bad that really was. So it was something that lasted in my throat. For 4 months, I ended up with no voice. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't swallow. It was very painful to get down anything I did just to keep my strength going. And it was during that time that, you know, I was not a spiritual gal, so I really was not in the space I am today. But I knew something wasn't right. I mean, I couldn't do anything but sit and be with myself. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love to connect with others and embrace them and meet them. The two things I love most in this world, aside from God and my family, are speaking and connecting. And those were the very two things that were taken from me. But I'm going to repeat that with a different word. They were taken for me.
Oh, wow.
Because
Good.
when something you feel, and again, I wasn't spiritual at the time, so I didn't know. I was just thinking, what the heck is going on? How did this happen? Why did this happen? Why me? Why now? All of that. And there were no answers. I didn't know. I just had to sit and be with me. And that is one of the first things when we talk about, you know, the process in finding your voice, there's keys that I go through, and I'm going to walk you through some of them today in finding your voice. And the very first one is about communication. And it's not just communicating with others. That's important. And that's something I didn't do. I didn't use my voice. And I'm going to just back up for a minute and saying that in losing my voice and in the quiet time, that's when I actually found my voice. Sometimes when things are taken away from us, they are taken away for us, to be still with ourselves and to be quiet, and to not only know about communication with others, but how are you communicating with yourself? So step one, key one in finding your voice is communication. What story are you telling yourself? What words are you speaking to yourself? Is it the negative ones? Is it those limiting beliefs? I'll never do this. I'll never be good enough, pretty enough, smart enough, blank enough, whatever that is, fill in the blank. Are those the words you're communicating to yourself? Thin enough, strong enough, whatever that is. What are those words? And even more so, I'm going to go one step even deeper and further. Where is it coming from? Where did that story start? Was it from a so-called friend or a teacher or maybe a spouse or a loved one or significant other that said that? Because sometimes people who aren't supportive of you, they're keeping you where you're at because you can stay at their level where they're at, and they're not supporting you to rise up to where you're meant to be. So you really want to make sure of the words that you're communicating to yourself and with yourself, and make sure that they are not filled with the limiting beliefs, because that's really an essential piece of it, to know what words and why are you having them. We have them, we all have them. I had them, and part of the ones that I went through is being good enough. Am I good enough? Am I, always, you question everything, and then the what if scenario goes into your head, and that takes on a whole new life of its own. What if this, what if that? Then you can't make a decision. Then you're stuck. Then you're like, okay, then you start procrastinating. It's the paralysis analysis sets in, and you do nothing. And that doing nothing is actually doing something. You're just stuck though. You want to be moving. You don't want to be stuck. You want to always be moving. And so watch how you're communicating with yourself.
I'm going to interject really quickly, because I think that's really where it's so valuable to have a coach, because we all, no matter who we are, what age, and I really wish that people younger in school, teachers, they're so important, they're so wonderful, and some do just come right alongside their students. They just don't have the time to do it with everybody. But even if people had coaches, life coaches, success coaches starting at a young age, because we start doubting ourselves based on experiences, like you were saying, at young ages, and we can spend our entire life doubting ourselves. And it really takes that like outside person looking in to help you get beyond that and figure out, like you said, what created that doubt, change those stories in our head and move forward. And it feels good to have somebody who can validate you and guide you and kind of help you think differently and be more proud of yourself and proud of your decisions, rather than always second guessing yourself, which is so easy to do for all of us.
Absolutely. I agree with that so much. And thank you for interjecting that. It's a very, very valuable point, and something that, you just free yourself to be yourself. That is something that I really can't emphasize enough. We are holding ourselves in our own chains. And the title of the book, Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains and Unleash Your Greatness. I realized I was bound up in my very own chains, and it was my own greatness that I needed to release. So free yourself to be yourself. You are holding the keys. No one can take the keys to your happiness unless you hand them over. They're not for anybody. They're meant for you. This life is meant for you. So use those keys to ignite your life and to ignite the flame that is there. And I'm here to help you do exactly that. So another question I would ask myself with these limiting beliefs is it true? is that belief system you have, first of all, where do you believe it came from? You know, going back and thinking about that, when did it start and why you might have it? And is it true? Is this a true statement about me? Or is it a story that I started believing because it came from somebody I trusted? And then they think this about me, so it must be true. But is it really? Most of the time, I would say 99.9999% of the time, the answer is no. And if we're giving somebody else the power to take that away from us and releasing that power and relinquishing that power to someone else to make that decision for us of who we are, why? You believe in them more than you believe in yourself. Oh, that's possible. That's why we have coaches, and that's why I'm here to help you through that. But you know, reach out. Definitely don't give away the key to your happiness in any place in your life, because this is your life and you were born here to this life for a reason. And I just can't wait to connect with you. So that's the main one right there. That's why it's number one. The second one, which is really also important, the second key is to get quiet. Well, you're thinking that's counterintuitive. You're like finding your voice, you're getting quiet, but you need to get quiet. And what happened with me in finding my voice, I was forced to get quiet. I didn't have a choice. I was sitting in this, in this hell of not knowing what was happening to me. And I couldn't speak. You know, this is 2013. I was just sitting on my couch looking out the window. One of my chapters is called Sunrise and Sunset, because that's all I saw. Sunrise and sunset. I remember I used to, you know, think about, well, I just want to go back to bed so I can get out of this pain, because it was so painful to be awake and in this body, to feel this kind of intense pain. I just want to go back to sleep. But I would wake up because I must have swallowed in my sleep, and I would wake up crying because the pain was so intense. And I also believe that the intensity of the pain that I experienced is the greatness that I'm here to serve in such a powerful and strong way that I ever could have from the place I was in before.
Wow. Wow. That's profound.
I think it's really true. That's why that happened again for me. You know, I just believe that with all my heart, that this is why things happen. You don't know it at the time, but there's a reason you go through things. And when you're coming through on the other side of it, and it didn't happen right away, because it was 2017 when I was getting that, you know, epiphany of maybe there's something more, maybe there's a reason why that happened. I didn't understand. This is an interesting realization I came to of why that illness came knocking on my door in 2017 after being released from my corporate job. I kept thinking, why am I thinking about 2013? That was several years ago. Why now am I thinking about it? And I hadn't thought of it since it was over, except in the very beginning, because every time I got a sore throat, I said, oh my God, I think it's back, because I was scared out of my wits, because I didn't think I'd be able to survive it again. So anytime a little hint of a sore throat came through, I was like, you know, I paralyzed. I became paralyzed. But it was years later when it came to me, and I'm like, this is odd. Why am I thinking about this? It was such a harsh time in my life. Why would I conjure that up in my head? And it was because I had to give birth to something else. And it was not sores in my throat. It was a book. It was giving birth to a book. And that's why that kept knocking on my door and on my head to start writing. A friend from back east, who is now an angel up there in heaven also. All these angels are flying around. And she had said to me, Renee, you should write a book. And I actually knew she was serious. I wrote that in the book too. And I didn't do it right away. It wasn't like, okay, I'll just sit down and start writing. I was, you know, who am I to write a book? I've never written a book before. Why would I do that? I'm looking for work. I have no time, all of those things. All those other voices that you know, should be listening to. I started listening to them, and I'm like, no, I think there's a reason. And then other people would come to me about writing a book, people from different states. I'm like, wow. And it was a real awakening that I needed to do that. So I did in fact do that. I don't want to divert too much from my second piece about getting quiet. So I want to say getting quiet is how this came to be. if I didn't sit down and take the time to write it, I wouldn't have been able to. But when you get quiet, you can actually listen to your own voice, that inner voice, that inner knowing, that intuition. That really would help inspire you if you get quiet. We have so much noise going around us. And even though we're not outdoors right now because of we're in 2020. So this is when this is taking place. It still is time that you can always reach out to others and share your voice with them. But sometimes you need to get quiet within. Turn off that social media, except for right now, because I watch it here. I don't turn this off. And listen to the voices. We have something called your RAS system. It's your reticular activating system. It's in your brain, the base of your brain, your brainstem. And when you ask yourself a question, you will start activating that part, that inner knowing. When, what should I do? What do I do? How should I move forward in life? So if you need to make a decision quickly, you might want to just get quiet and ask yourself the question and take a few deep breaths. But if you have time, the best thing is to ask that question before you go to bed at night, and ask yourself, what that question is, and it'll start, activating in your brain those answers when you wake up. I literally have woken up and run to paper to write things down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I woke up with answers. I had to make a decision on something very big this morning, and it was a question I'd been toying back and forth with, and I did. And I felt confident in what I was doing. I had reached out to others, but then I want to let you know, when you reach out to other people, the more people you reach out to, the more different answers you're going to get. Everything you need is within you now. All the love you need is within you now. All the support you need is within you now. You have it all. We do look for, outside validation, but that is within you too. You don't need outside validation. You have the answers, that inner knowing, that inner voice. You have it. And that is the piece of getting quiet. When you get quiet, you will hear the answers. Getting outside advice from this one and that one, I think that I'll just confuse you more. Now, what should I do? This friend of mine said this friend of mine said that. Should I do this? Then it's like, whoa, stop the madness.
Yeah, I
Slow
agree with
down.
that. His friends, I mean, that happens with my son, for instance. He's a musician. And if he asks all of his friends if they like his new song, or what he should do here or there, he gets just the whole gamut, and it makes him less confident, even more insecure. And that happens to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that a coach that can help you learn to get quiet, like you're doing with us today, is so key. And I had another experience recently with this. I was going on like a 5-mile walk and listening to my phone, a podcast. I like to multitask, right? So I'm walking. I also want to listen to, somebody's podcast, or just have my brain occupied so it goes faster. And the day that I said, you know what, I'm not bringing my phone. I'm going to try to learn to just be quiet, to enjoy nature, not have to be stimulated, which I tend to do. And that was the day that my new business name and slogan just popped into my head on that walk.
Not surprised.
Because I created the space.
Yes.
So that's so true.
That's what I was talking about. Create space. It's really important. And I don't just mean physical space. You do need to create physical space too, but the mental space. When you create space in your mind and you don't hold on to all these things, that stimulation that's always going on, you create that space, and that you have that calm, and things come to you and they come through you. I've done the same thing when I go on walks. So I don't always have music on. I actually turn it off and I listen to nature, and the things that I need to hear, the questions I have, the answers are coming. It's incredible. It's like, wow.
You actually posted something today that I didn't see until after I made a decision. But it's a decision based on several years of wanting to create more, like give more to the world and create more for the people that are involved in my networking group. And just, you know, if you just stay stagnant and status quo, even if it's good, you know, for too long, you're limiting your growth and the more that you can offer. So I made a bold decision today. Some of you may have seen on the Heartlink Facebook community. And that then I went over to your page after that, and you wrote, you had posted Manifestation Monday, declutter to manifest more. And it says, when we declutter, we make and create more space to call in what we desire. Declutter your mind to achieve the same results. And that, I was like, boy, I'm getting signs everywhere. You know, that was in, you know, clutter in my home is different than the clutter of the busyness that we create.
Yes.
You know, because I love the things that I do. I just do believe that we all have more. And so the whole concept of just quieting your mind is really important, because those things will come, like you said.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Caprice. And I appreciated that when I saw your post that I from the day before, when I did that on Monday. You know, it's again, and I think I responded to your reply, and I said, you know, things come to us in the timing that they're supposed to be revealed. And I think that was just an incredible thing that you happened to go into my Finding Your Voice page on Facebook, and you saw that, and it was like, it was revealed to you that it was actually confirmation for you that you made that right decision. And you will find that in life, that things that happen. I mean, after I had made a decision on something this morning that I was going back and forth with, right away, when I had been holding on so tightly to what I was going to do and how was I going to, you know, serve, should I do this or that? As soon as I released it, my phone, literally, I have a landline, still have a landline, believe it or not, that started ringing, my cell phone started going off. I was getting text messages. I'm like, about opportunities. I'm like, are you kidding? Within 60 seconds of a decision that I had made. And sometimes it's not the fact of what that decision is, it's about making the decision itself. So the bigger picture is that you were able to make the decision, not in what that choice was. It, you know, that's more of on a bigger scheme. And I think for me, that's what it was, to not hold so tight to this one thing and create the space to allow everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is really a big thing. So I appreciate what you said, and that's really a big part of it. You know, one of the other questions, I was talking about questions you ask yourself to activate that, the RAS, that reticular activating system, is, you know, maybe how can I serve in a bigger and better way? How can I show up in a stronger way to the people I'm supposed to serve? And what steps can I take? You know, ask these powerful questions. The more powerful questions you ask, the more powerful responses you will receive. And again, not asking all your friends and you know, followers, because it'll turn you down, you know, a rabbit hole that it'll be hard to dig out of. But just ask yourself those questions, and then get quiet, get really quiet. And that's when those answers will come. The third key, which is really, you know, that's why I put in the top 3 keys, is be you. Be you. You know, so many times it's like, you know, we watch other people, well, maybe I should be more like her, maybe I should be more like this one or that one. No, you weren't here to be more like this one or that one.
Good point.
This isn't Halloween. We're not dressing up like each other. This is you. You are here to be you and be authentically you. This is the person who people are going to resonate with. You know, I always tell people, when you see me on social media and you see me, you know, well, not so much in public anymore right now on the computer because of what's going on with the current situation we're in with COVID, it's going to be the same me. I don't know who else to be or how else to be. And this is how I serve the people I'm supposed to serve. Because when you're you, you're more relatable. And being authentically you is who it's going to attract your right tribe. The people who are supposed to be in your life, I believe, will be. And those who are not will not be. So don't hold space for people who you're not supposed to be around. You know, so many times, well, this person is this person is that, and they're my friends. And are they the right people that are supposed to be in your life? You know, I'm not saying drop your friends, but are they your real friends? Are they holding you? in a place where you are trying to grow out of. You know, something also I say, what we go through, we grow through. And, you know, if you have a pen and paper, write that down, because it's really important to know that, and to realize that we're going through things because we're growing through things. And that is a really key component. So be you, be authentically you, you know, use your voice. There's a quote I'm going to read so I get it right. And it's from Judy Garland. It says, "No one can be a better version of you. So be yourself and be authentic." This one that she wrote says, "Always be a first-rate version of yourself and not a second-rate version of someone else." That is the quote. I'll read it again. "Always be a first-rate version of yourself and not a second-rate version of someone else. You are unique and amazing as you are. And that's why you are here." You know, we tend to give away our power over, you know, to others over things we want. And something, I don't know, The Wizard of Oz, I always liked that show. And it's funny that I found that quote from Judy Garland, The Wizard of Oz. It wasn't even from that, but it was from her. But if you think about it, Dorothy, you know, she found the scarecrow who was looking for the brain, then the Tin Man who was looking for the heart, and then for that cowardly lion who was looking for courage. And the thing they all found out at the end is, like I said earlier, they always had it within them the whole time. They were looking for the outside sources. I need this, I need that. Where they always had it. And Dorothy had it in her as well, with her glass shoes, those ruby slippers. She had the power to return to Kansas anytime she wanted. And you too have that same power to return to yourself. Lead with your heart. You will never go wrong in finding your voice that's always there.
That's a beautiful analogy. I love that so much. I love Wizard of Oz. And they all, you know, there was something unique about what each of them, you know, needed and already had inside of them that grew. And I'm a quote girl. I love what we go through, we grow through. And when you were talking about be you, there's a quote that I've heard. It goes something like, "Be you because everyone else is taken."
Right.
And we all have a unique fingerprint for a reason. I mean, when you think about fingerprints, and that there's not a single person on earth that has your fingerprint, I mean, that's powerful. And so, you know, we're here for a purpose, and you are meant to be you and to shine as you, and not, you know, want to be like someone else, or just find what's special about you. I love that.
Thank you, Caprice. Absolutely agree with that. We do have that blueprint that we have been given when we came here. And it's, you know, the fact that we're able to share ourselves with others and to be able to help each other through certain, you know, difficult times, whatever that is, and to just surround each other with support and with love. And again, serve from your heart. When you serve from your heart and not your head, you know, like they say, get out of your own head, get out of your own way, you really can't go wrong. We do need to step aside and let ourselves lead with our heart. Sometimes that inner voice is the one that creates the fear, and it's the outer voice that gets to overcome it. Use your voice, use your words for positive affirmations. There's something that I do, it's called the I am statements. You know, I am strong, I am powerful, I am a leader. You know, I am, when you say it, your brain hears you say it. Instead of, you know, talking about the limiting beliefs, who are you? What are you? Who do you want to be? And who you want to be is who you want to become. You can do that. We talk about, especially now with pivoting. Pivoting doesn't mean changing your vision. It may mean changing the way you're doing something. Caprice had a vision. She's maybe pivoting from what she was doing, but not losing sight of what she wants to do and who she wants to serve. Her sight is clear. It's 2020. We're in 2020. She's got that. She's just pivoting to a different way to achieve what she wants to achieve. And you can do the same thing. And that's what the pivot is. Doesn't mean drop the old, start with the new, you know, start from scratch. You are you. You can always take what you've been given, because we went through the journey that we're on up until now. We have the things we've done, doesn't mean drop it all. It means use what you've learned. Use those tools you have in your toolbox. And what can I take from what I've gone through and been through and utilize it to propel me forward to what I want to do and who I want to serve right now? And you have those. Like I said, everything you need is within you now. We don't always know it. And that's why we have coaches and mentors to be able to pull those things out of us. And sometimes it's hard. It's like extracting a tooth sometimes. You're like pulling it out and say, where is it? Let me tell you, coaches have coaches. You have Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, all these greats have coaches. So couldn't have gotten where I am right now without all the coaches and mentors in my own life. I continually, get that support from them because, I know we're all at different levels, and we talk about up leveling and where you're at. You want to always be achieving and striving for more and doing more and being a better version of yourself, because, the more you learn, the more you can serve others. Something I've always said is I will always be a student of life, because I wear those two hats. I'm a student and I'm a teacher, not a student teacher, a student and a teacher, because I will always want to be learning and growing, because as I learn and grow, I get to share that knowledge with all of you. That's what it's about.
Oh, I love that. And I'm the same way. I kind of get off on growing. I'm if you're not growing, you're dying, right? They say. So I'm just a sponge, and it's just part of me. I just love to show up and go up and, and grow. And this past week was filled with that because Renee invited me to an amazing top training virtual seminar that I attended on Monday and Wednesday. And then on Friday, I attended part of Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within seminar at Lauren Power's home, who's also an amazing coach. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I had a virtual coaching with called Ignite with Carrie Tepedino. And then here I'm getting coaching from Renee. So I feel really blessed to be surrounded by people that just also like to grow and learn, because those are the people I love to spend time with. I love to spend time with a lot of people, but you really help lift me up. I'm not perfect. I have so much to learn. I'm always going to be getting better until the day I die, and so I appreciate you and the resources that we all are here to give others, because everyone has resources. Everyone has something unique to offer. And I believe that we all have, Dolly Latinsky actually said this. She's another great coach, said that recently, that everyone is already a leader. We all have a leader inside of us, and there's various ways that we lead, but we all have a leader inside. So tap into that. Tap into your own intuition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so true, Caprice. And like you, I also will always be learning because, like I said, I am a student of life. And we are, always trying to achieve the higher version of ourselves. And that's what I'm here to do, to learn and to grow and to serve those women out there that I meant to serve, and to be that leader for them. You can't pour from an empty cup, as that saying goes. We talk about quotes and sayings. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And so often, especially as women, we're serving, but we're not even serving ourselves. You're taking care of, the husband, the kids, the job, whatever it is you're doing. You're not spending any quality time with you. So like I said, that key about getting quiet is really a big key, because you've got to take care of yourself. You can pour from the overflow, but not from an empty cup. So make sure you're filling your cup up and you're taking care of yourself, whether you're doing a spa treatment for yourself or you're just taking time to just get quiet and listen to some music or some soft music, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that is, just to have that quiet time to free yourself, as I said, to be yourself. And you're the one that can do that. You're the one who does hold the key to your happiness. And, we have the choice in life. So I say, take a chance and make a choice. And you have that chance to make that choice. And that is within you. That is up to you. You've been given this time to do exactly that. You've been gifted this time to do that. And you are the leader of your life. And anybody looking for coaching or support, mentorship, please reach out to you, to me, to you. Reach out to yourself and reach out to me. Reach within yourself. Reach
Talk with
within
yourself.
Yes, reach within
Talk it over
yourself.
with yourself.
Yeah, have that conversation. Reach within yourself and reach out to me, because I would love to gift you all a 30-minute complimentary consultation. It would be my privilege and honor to serve you in this way and to see what's next. What do you want to do? What are you looking to do? And how can I support and serve you? So please reach out to me. I'll have my links in the chat. I'll put everything in there. My website is there too. I'm just here to help and to support, because I know we all go through things and we need that person, that support system. You know, I say everything we need within us now, but you do need that support sometimes to pull it out. Like I said, I've had coaches all my life, and I have them now, people who are there to support and to help, because we need that. And as I said, we're here to serve so many, but yet we don't serve ourselves. So please don't be shy and reach out. Let's find your voice. Okay. This is really a good tool. And I'm so happy again, Caprice, thank you so much.
Sure. Does anybody have any questions that are out on, you're getting a lot of comments on Facebook, and lots of yes, like, oh, Kari loved the Wizard of Oz wisdom. Everything you want is within you. Adrienne Diaz says, yes, I'm a leader of my life. You know, Kari said, this is very generous coaching. Thank you. Hazel Thorncroft is all the way from Canada. And she says, absolutely, we really need to get into that place where we're happy to learn and keep growing. Absolutely. And we've got Cara Maldonado on here, Selena Burns. We have Thorell Law. Michelle Gregory says she loves, I love this too, be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else.
Right, that's the quote I'm reading. Awesome. Yes, that's exactly what I read. That was the quote. That's beautiful. Thank you,
and
Michelle.
Who was that quote by?
Yeah,
was that your quote?
It was from Judy Garland. It said,
okay, from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. Yeah,
awesome.
That was Judy Garland quote I read. Yeah.
So for all of you that have been commenting something you took away from Renee's coaching, you're already all entered in the drawing for the prize that we're going to be doing the prize drawing on Friday. So if you are someone who has already posted a takeaway, wants to post a takeaway, do pound replay and then your takeaway, or someone, you have all the way until Thursday night at midnight Pacific time, and then on Friday I will check to see who's entered, and then Renee and I are both going to jump back on here live and draw the winner of what, Renee?
Well, you can have this is a 99-cent ebook. You can get that. I will give you part of my coaching program. So let me know what you want to do, and I'll be happy to do that. Again, the gift is the 30-minute complimentary consultation. So let me know.
Everyone gets that. That's
everybody gets that. You all get that. Yeah, everybody, like an Oprah thing, right? I don't have a car for you,
right?
But everybody gets.
Yeah, exactly. So that's awesome.
Yes.
And I mean, having a book, people love. In fact, Michelle Gregory said she still needs you to personally sign her book.
Oh, Michelle, yes.
It's just a book. You know, it's nice to have that physical copy, because then I highlight it all over it. To me, I like that better than a online digital book, because I like to highlight and then go back.
This, you know what this is? It is a 99-cent ebook on Amazon, and then I have it for $9.98 on Amazon as well, because I wanted it to be affordable to the masses. And something I have in here that at the end of each chapter, Michelle will know, and Caprice knows already because she has the book as well, is a takeaway section. So I didn't want to write a book just about me and, you know, finding my voice, which is always nice to read about somebody going through something, but how can it serve you? So what I did is I created a takeaway section after each chapter, and there's 2 to 3 pages. They're lined pages for you to actually write your answers, because I believe in the power of the pen, and what comes up will come out. So, you know, it's an interesting story I'm going to share just a few minutes. I know we have left. That my mom, who had read the book, obviously she read. I'm so thrilled she's with me. Not right this second, but she's still here with us. She's 83 years old. And she didn't know about the book. I didn't tell anybody in my family. Someone who likes to talk kept the whole book quiet for over 2 years. But when I gave it to her, she read it. And after she read it, she said, you know, Renee, she told me about an experience that she had in school. Granted, again, I said she's 83, right? Where she didn't use her voice. And a situation happened where she didn't speak up and somebody blamed her, you know, for something. I'm like, you're kidding me. I didn't even know this. But what are the chances of this happening? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But you don't know how it affects you. And that's why I said the book is it's a very brief, it's 83 pages, but powerful book where you're going to glean a lot of insight, not so much as into me as into yourself, because I wrote the book for you, helping you on your journey in finding your voice. That's who the book is for. And that's who I'm here to serve. So please connect with me, reach out to me. I just am thrilled to connect with all of you. So please, I can't wait.
So we have a lot of viewers, and Seema, thank you for joining us, Seema. She said, I fight with all obstacles to go ahead and open my way to learn more and more.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Yeah.
she's
Open your
working
way.
against some obstacles to still learn and grow, which I give you a ton of credit for that.
Seema, absolutely. What I was going to say is connect with me, Seema. Let's set up a little complimentary call with that, because our obstacles are really opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can help you turn that around into an opportunity rather than an obstacle that you're fighting with, and we'll see what that looks like. I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah. And
So
then
please
Michelle
reach out.
Gregory, who is a dear friend, she's been a
Yes.
Heartlink member for a long time. She said, finding my voice has been my primary focus for the past couple of months, especially. And I see so much progress in you, Michelle. I'm so proud of you. So proud to be your friend and just see you grow like you've been. It's awesome.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
we're going to go ahead and wrap up. This was really fantastic. Thank you so much for gifting this. And I do hope that everyone reaches out to you and, you know, at least, you know, gets to have the opportunity to have that complimentary coaching session. We will be on here again on Friday, just really short, you know, 5-minute live announcing the winner of Renee's book. Is that what you decided is the best?
Yeah.
You can change that. You could add to it. It might be, who knows, it might be
I
more.
may come up with something special. We'll see. I'll
Yeah.
think on that one. I'm going to give something good though. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Our next Heartlink Network meeting, in the way that we're typically used to them being, is on July 28th. And I am taking a break to get quiet with myself, at least through the month of August, because I feel like I'm getting a pull and a tug that there's more. And it's, you know, we have spent this last 10 years or so, well, 13 years with the Heartlink Network, but a little few less years on Facebook, but we've built a tremendous community together. I couldn't have done it alone. And I really thank all of you. And so there is something more for us. And so I'm taking some time to be quiet, but I'm also going to be working on a positive leadership mentorship program that's kind of come to me. And I am going to be describing more about that on the 28th. So I hope that you'll all show up to the networking group meeting. I'll post that also in this post so that you have that to register for. And I just thank you all for being here. I thank you all for caring about yourself. You know, the self-love, the self-care is, you know, what I'm all about. And those of you who know me, I'm really passionate about nutrition and helping coach people to a healthier lifestyle that serves them and allows them to be around living with more vitality and energy, and without having to depend on medicine as much. I know there's a place for those kinds of things, but our goal, our ability of our body is to thrive, you know, into old age. And that's my goal, is to help more people, more entrepreneurial women who are working to build their businesses, also build their personal health, so that when you get to that point where you've all of your efforts paid off and you have enough to go retire, you're going to be in great health to be able to enjoy it. And that's one of my goals that I'm going to be, percolating on a little bit more, on how I bring those together and continue to support this amazing community of women that I love so much. So thank you. And we're going to be here. This group, please refer your friends to this group, because we are looking to grow this group so that we have more connections, more expertise to leverage. And Renee, you've just been a beautiful soul today to be here with us. So thank you so very much. And I'll see you on Friday.
Yes, thank you so much. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.